So in my life, I have never had more trouble pulling the trigger on a camera purchase than I do with the Ricoh GR III or the GR3X. I cannot tell you how many times I've had it in a cart. I can't tell you how many times I've actually contacted somebody on Facebook, how I've been the almost final bidder on an eBay auction for the Ricoh GR3. And every time I have it within my clutches, something pulls me back. It's a review about how great the camera is, gets me right there. Oh yes, it's compact, and that's the number one thing with me, compact. And then I read about dust, and then I read about this and that, and I think to myself, God, I want it, but I don't. I want the compact. I like the image quality. I like the film sims that you can get. Look, it's all about film sims anymore because we're all shooting digital, but we want it to look like film. Just understand this. I even wrote this on a note. You will never get a 40 megapixel camera to look like film. No matter what the film simulation is, it will never look like film. And I think I found a workaround. It's going to be a cop-out. I know you're going to think this is a cop-out, but it is a workaround if you can't pull the trigger on a $1,000 point and shoot. Now, one of the things I had to work out recently was, am I willing to go with a camera that I hold away from my face? And I used to be okay with it because I'm Digicam king from way back. And now, because I put my eye to the camera so often, and I started shooting photography with my eye to the camera 50 years ago, that it's very hard for me to hold a camera up and get a composition without putting my glasses on. Let's just be honest. So I'm an eye-level shooter, not an arm reach shooter. And that's another thing that keeps me from the Ricoh GR3 or the GR3X. Again, I can't even decide on the focal length I want. 43, like the Q43 from Leica, the perfect street photography focal length. Or is it 24 or 28 that I have in my Leica Q? Because some people say it's 24, some people say it's 28. It doesn't matter. I can't decide. And I've been so close on the Ricoh GR3. So what I did is I chose compact. And I thought to myself, I'm getting ready to go across the country. I'm going to drive across the country, just see the sights from the Smokies to the Rockies is what I call this vacation because I live in the Smokies. I was going to travel to the Rockies. And I decided to go as low budge as you could. Actually, not the lowest budge you could because that would have been this. The PowerShot SX160IS, 16 megapixels, nice little body, very cute, but it is just a Digicam. It's a good Digicam. I think the minimum aperture 3.5, not great. Guess that would be maximum aperture, but nonetheless, okay, didn't take it with me. Plus it's CMOS sensor. Didn't take this one with me, which is the Canon PowerShot SX280, which is a great camera, but it's CMOS sensor. Again, one of the first CMOS sensors they put in these little itty bitty compacts. I love shooting with this thing, but I wanted to go out west and I wanted to hold a camera at arm's length. And I thought to myself, this will give me an indication if I'm ready for the Ricoh GR3 or the GR3X. And so the trusty, not so dusty, Canon PowerShot S95, the last of the S series with a CCD sensor, which is how you shoot film with a digital camera. When you talk about compact, I mean, this is a shirt pocket camera. Of course, I've got the vest with all the different pockets on here, but it can go right here without a problem. Look, the Fujifilm stuff I have is not pocketable, okay? The X106, not pocketable. The XE2 with the very small pancake lens, not pocketable. Let's be honest with you. This is absolutely pocketable. And these images, 10 megapixels, maximum aperture 2.0. It was the Highline, the professional, if you will, digicams that they made. The S100 has the CMOS, but this is the CCD sensor, the very last, that looks like film when you shoot it. So here are some shots from my travels out west from the Smokies to the Rockies. Held like this. I could see it just fine. Held like this. Big bright screen on the back, so it was great. And I think this will keep me from getting a Ricoh GR3 or a GR3X. No dust issues, okay? Every time I open it and every time I close it, no dust gets inside that thing. So I'm not worried about the sensor issues. I'm not worried about all the little niggling things that bother people about the Ricoh GR3. So Ricoh, Ric-No is what I say. Enjoy these pictures. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. All these are on the 10 megapixel CCD Canon PowerShot S95.